Well, guys, that was nuts. Some guy just tried to pass me and drifted out and smacked right into the side of the Jeep. Oh, the F1 label's dummied. Well, guys, as you can hear, everything was going fine, but there's obviously something wrong with the tire. I hopped out and checked it, and it didn't look like there was any plastic in the way from the fender. But if I were on a trail, I wouldn't be driving right now. But I'm on the side of the freeway with my hazards on. We're just trying to pull off onto an exit before we look at it for safety. But we're literally like 2 hours away. I know, Lando, I know. One thing after the other. We're almost to a gas station, and then we'll try and see what's up. Hopefully there is something just lodged in there that we can take out, and we don't have to get a tow truck, but I'll keep you guys posted. Man, that's crazy.
What's it?
The whole Jeep's going.
Watch behind you.
I couldn't see anything lodged.
You want to slowly drive forward and look and see
We discovered that the knocking sound was coming from the front differential. It seems to run fine in two-wheel drive, but there's obviously an issue with the four-wheel drive.
Well, the sound went away, so it's all good. Driving fine again, so we'll head to the gas station. Well, we're full on gas. Everything's running smoothly again, so 2 more hours. My arm and shoulder are really sore, mainly just from holding the steering wheel straight, but we'll make it. Beautiful sunset. Just wish I was seeing that sunset with the mountains in Bozeman. Need these things. What a day. Guys, we made it to the X hangar. Probably not going to film too much tonight, but just gonna go to bed, and then I'll talk to you guys in the morning and show you around, and we'll see the bikes and stuff. I'm basically gonna get in and go to sleep. I'm really tired, so see you guys tomorrow.
back is all warm from the heated seat.
Yeah. My shoulder's dummied though.
I bet.
From the seatbelt.
He did a lot of driving.
A lot of driving, and then just to add to it, this thing's broke now.
Just flopping.
Yeah, that's basically all that happened though.
Yeah, and the license plate that did.
Yeah, that was from the fence. Yeah, that's crazy. Just glad I'm here now. All right, guys, so today we're getting the Jeep looked at. We called the nice guys here at Dark Horse Customs to see if they could fit us in, because since we're leaving soon, and there's a lot of work being done on tons of trucks in the area. Le Schwab and all these places are completely booked out, but luckily they said they would be able to take a look at it to see if we're able to drive the Jeep as is down to Arizona before getting some work done to it. Hopefully that's the case, because I think all of us kind of want to get moving again and get down to the warmer weather. And if it can't, then we'll probably have to stay here for quite a while as it gets repaired. The Jeep itself is driving fine. The alignment, I believe, is fixed now. The only thing is we can't go into 4 low. So when we go into 4 low, the Jeep kind of jumps and makes a loud noise, and it's not liking it. So we want to get that looked at first, and then also just get some professional eyes on it and see if there's any other problems that we haven't noticed, just to make sure everything's safe before heading out. And then I'll also just be packing some of my gear. I already got my motorcycle gear ready, so we're pretty much good to go.
Yeah, I mean, why don't you put it in 4-wheel drive, and then let's, once you move it, let's hear it. Back up. It mainly only happen when you're turned. I think you broke an axle shaft. I really do.
All right, everybody, good afternoon. Took the morning pretty much off, just slept in it. Kind of regained myself after the big long drive. But I'm here now at the storage container, and I'm going to be pulling my bike out and driving it back to the X hangar. I'm probably going to have to let it warm up for quite a while, since it's been sitting out here for a couple months now. But it's gonna be nice to have it back and to have it running. And then we also have some other things we need to grab in here as well for our trip. So let's get the gate open and take a look at the bike. I'm really excited to see it again. There she is. All right, so I'm gonna have to do some little maneuvering. Whoo, man, that looks good. To get my bike out, because some of the Croft spikes are in here as well. But man, so good to see it again. See my bags and my tent and all my gear. Man, I'm excited. We're not going to be able to drive too much because we'll probably need to get these serviced, and because it's snowing here like crazy. But at least I'll have a nice little short drive from here to the X hangar, and really looking forward to that. But there's the bike right there. Just got to move these ones out of the way. Clay's 690 is the same 690, just a little bit older model. And then we'll turn her on and let her run for a bit before we head back. Man, so nice to see this thing again. What a beauty machine. Poor thing's been sitting in storage for so long. Can't wait to take it out on trails. Get her running and happy again. Well, let's see if it turns on. Pretty sure there's fuel in it, so. thing's probably so cold. Warm up, and then while that's warming up, I'll get the rest of my gear all ready and throw in my old moto gear. Man, that smell of an engine running, even though it's kind of that oily smell of sitting there for a long time, it's still just getting flashbacks as I'm about to put all this back on of the mountains in Colorado, because I always remember trying to put on our climb gear in the cold. The like, I forget what the padding's called, like G30 or something. Freezes, it gets all stiff, and until your body kind of warms it up, it doesn't mold to you for a while. So for a little while, it's just kind of uncomfortable, but then it gets warmed up and it's extremely comfortable. I'm also wearing work pants underneath them, but throwing on the original spaceman suit. My nice seedy adventures. Man, this is really getting me excited for heading down to Arizona and exploring around. I think it'd be really cool to use the bike for like exploration off-road, but also through like cool old towns and stuff. I think a motorcycle would give a fun addition to that sort of thing. And I don't have my original filming setup right now for when I was on the motorcycle. I don't have my microphone and stuff, but I'm gonna try and rig something up so then you guys can hear me as I talk on this ride, but can't make any promises. We'll see how it turns out. Alright, so before I put on my jacket, gloves, and helmet, I'm gonna let the bike keep running and get my camera stuff ready, and then we'll head on the road. So I wasn't able to find a microphone, but I did find a GoPro that I can mount to my helmet, so you guys can at least watch the drive and see how the bike runs. Yeah, this is such a warm, cozy setup. But surprisingly, these the Climb Badlands stuff, they actually came out with a newer version, but even with these old ones, there's so many vents all over that you can open up when it's warm, that even in the desert when I was riding, I was fine in this. I mean, there was a few times that it did get pretty hot, but it was nothing too crazy. And we have a whole bunch of more motocross enduro style armor by Liette and Alpine, but personally I prefer this when we're traveling majority on the bikes, just because it's two pieces of equipment. It's waterproof, and you know, like it's completely windproof if you seal up all the vents. So as far as cold weather riding, you don't need to add layers, you don't need to do anything, you just throw it on. Riding in the rain, again, you don't have to add layers, you don't have to do anything. My boots are also waterproof, the CD Adventure 2s or 3s. And then, yeah, it just, especially on cold mornings, having to throw on each piece of independent gear just takes a long time, and this is really fast. Obviously, there are major benefits to wearing the piece armor, just because there's a lot more armor. So for off-road riding, it's going to offer a lot more protection, especially to your knees and ankles, and also to your neck. But this sort of thing is more slide resistant for road riding. So each has their benefit, but it's just personal preference. I just wish I wasn't driving 5 feet and then shipping this thing. I wish I was heading on a big long adventure on it, but soon enough we will be, so that's alright. Alright, so the bike's good to go, it's warmed up, at least the best it can be. We got a little bit of fuel, hopefully it's enough to make it back. I think it will be. Usually when the fuel light hits or turns on the 690s, we got about 40 miles left in the tank, so we should be fine either way. But yeah, let's get on there. Super excited. Alright guys, so I'm gonna head there. It's pretty amazing to be on here again. The last time I rode, it ended at 3,300 miles, and I look forward to adding many, many more this winter and spring. So, well, let's get her fired up and head out. Well guys, that was an absolute pleasure to ride again. Man, I just couldn't contain my excitement as soon as I hit, the highway and just revving the engine again and getting up. Man, I loved it. Just, there really is nothing like a motorcycle for that feeling of freedom when you're on the road. You get a similar feeling in the Jeeps when you're heading out, but it's a totally different thing when you're on the bike. It's just absolute adventure and roughing it and living out of saddlebags. It's really nice. And like I've mentioned a million times, because I'm really excited about it, I'm looking forward to heading out and doing more moto trips this spring and winter in Arizona, and just getting back on this thing. Sleeping out of the tents again will be so much fun. Nice. So got the permanent Montana license plate on now. Also the permanent Montana off-road sticker that I'm gonna put on, which is super nice to have, just for obvious legal reasons. So then all the cops know you're legit, because we were riding around and we had our licenses and stuff, but we only had the temporary licenses. And even though that's legal to ride, it's just it just looks more suspicious to have a flapping paper plate than an actual metal one. Alright, so another thing in preparation for shipping the bikes is we have to take all of our panniers off, and then we'll carry them either in the back of the Jeep or in the RV, so that when they ship we can just put them back on and the bikes will be ready to ride. There we go. Alright, it's all ready for shipping. Nice.
checking out the damage there?
Yep. I like Dan's little accents here. This is probably not pedestrian road crash rated, but
It's kind of a World War II motif.
yeah. We were noticing that, or I could smell a little bit of oil, like some sort of oil smell, so you guys already have it planned to get into a shop, so it'll be good to have it checked out. But I mean, the fact that it drove away is a miracle in itself, considering what happened. Yeah.
I think that's what.
I mean, it could be like an axle seal or. Yeah. Just glad he's okay.
Yeah, that's what we were saying. It's the most important thing. Jeep we can fix. I was saying to Dan also, when I was young, I had an incident where I slid on ice, and I wasn't going fast. But that feeling of helplessness, you got the brakes all the way down, then you try releasing, you can't steer. I said to Dan, if you can get through it and not get hurt, you'll never forget that for the rest of your life. So when you see ice, you're going to slow down. Because it's the worst feeling on earth. It's like, I can't do anything.
Oh yeah, it's, you're just helpless.
You're at the mercy of
you're just like,
inertia.
Well, whatever happens is gonna happen now.
The seal on the.
Look
actual-
how wet the inside of the tire is there.
And it goes all
I
up
was
in
thinking
here.
axle seal.
Yeah.
It smells like gear oil.
But yeah, I mean, you can see the glistening on the inside of the tire there.
Yeah. Whatever it was, I mean, it's spray. Because I mean, it's amazing that's over there.
Well, and he still made it 5 hours.
That's crazy.
We came limping in last night.
That's gear oil.
Well, and you're gonna be putting new gears in it anyway, so it's good timing.
Yeah. Well, that's what Pete Jr. said. He's like, oh, well, this is a mixed blessing.
Yeah, as long as you didn't crack the housing.
Definitely take this thing halfway off at least to get all this stuff out. 'Cause it's jammed way back in there, separating the fender, and then this is probably held on by a couple screws, so it's holding it in really tight. These are probably sticking into our poor Jeep, and if we tried to yank them out, we'd end up ripping it even more than it already is. So once we're in a place where we can sit still for a minute, we can take off the fender, probably pull the stuff out, put it back on properly.
Let's go bye-byes.
Well, guys, we are in Arizona. I know that might be a little bit confusing since the last time I talked, I was in Montana with the motorcycle, but I'll explain it all and why. And it's pretty amazing. You'll have to wait for the big reveal of our new vehicle for Epic Family Road Trips video coming out. I think it's next week. Yeah. And so we drove down to Arizona, and I didn't film much along the way, and just because we wanted to get to this area and to pick up our new vehicle, which is driving in front of me. That's why I'm filming backwards. I will be doing some filming in front as well, but it's amazing. So the past couple of days, we've just been testing it out, and I've been helping with some of the photos, and Peter's been filming, just so we can give you guys a nice reveal and show you what we got. And it is amazing, absolutely loving it. It's going to be a totally different style than what we're used to, but while keeping the off-road capabilities, which is really cool. And I think you guys will enjoy seeing that. So like I said, that's on Epic Family Road Trips video, our main family channel, next week. So stay tuned for that. And in the meantime, I'll kind of explain what I've been up to and what we're up to right now. So after leaving Montana, we headed down through the states, picked up the new vehicle, and came into Arizona. We did some family trails all together for the first time since we had just, or not for the first time obviously, but for the first time in a while since we just picked up Peter. So we're all basically back together except for Caroline, who is still doing her year of service in Toronto and in Europe. So yeah, we just spent some family time. I got the Jeep kind of organized-ish. It looks like a mess in the back just because we've had to carry some of our motorcycle gear down here. What's happening with the motorcycles is they're going to be being shipped down to Sedona, Arizona. And then once it's here, all of that gear will go onto the bikes, and we'll be able to do some motorcycle adventures as well. But right now, I just filled up with gas, and we've got about a 2-hour drive to a place called the Valley of the Gods. So we're still headed down to Sedona, Arizona. That's our main destination. But along the way, we have some beautiful stops we want to see. Valley of the Gods is one we've been to a couple times. But no matter how many times you go there, it is just such a beautiful place. It's great for off-roading, and you really can't get that sort of view anywhere else. I mean, it's named Valley of the Gods. It is very well named. It definitely just, yeah, I'll let you guys see it. But that's 2 hours away, so we'll probably do some camping in there, and I'll camp out of the Jeep. And after that, we'll be heading to Gooseneck State Park, which is a little bit farther down on our way to Arizona, to Sedona. And that is another, like, just absolute must-see if you guys are in the area. It's just a beautiful river that's carved out this massive ravine, I guess you could call it, and it kind of swirls through the ground. So it's pretty amazing when you're driving up to it. It's just flat and then drops thousands of feet into this massive, massive canyon. So yeah, we got lots of exciting stuff coming up. I did mention that our main stop is Sedona, Arizona. We've got a little like KOA campground that we've rented out for a couple weeks. Not to stay in necessarily, but we'll park the RV there as kind of a home base, and then we'll take all of our adventure vehicles out on day-long and week-long trips all across Arizona, filming content for you guys. And then we'll be able to come back to the RV every once in a while and do some editing, which is nice. Hopefully our quality of video will be a little bit boosted by that, just being able to have one spot with all of our gear and editing stations, which is the first time we're doing this, which I really like the idea of. But yeah, this whole trip is just going to be amazing. I'm hopefully going to be able to bring you guys some exclusive Daniel style content, I guess, which my style has always been more, like I've mentioned a few times on the channel, to do with history and the people of the places we're visiting and the cultures, but then also just the journey. I really enjoy just the kind of vlog style, so I can give you guys a raw experience of what it's actually like to travel through these areas firsthand. So then if you guys plan on doing any of these trips in the future, you can kind of know what to expect. I'm not much of a logistical person. That's not one of my strengths, but I'll try and share like rough costs, fuel mileage, stuff like that whenever I can. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. That will be in this Jeep, sometimes on the motorcycles. And for me, on my channel, it's not, obviously it's like vehicle based. Without proper vehicles, I can't do some of the stuff that I love doing. But like I mentioned, I'm not much of a logistical person or a statistics guy. So this isn't going to be a vehicle channel, it's going to be a travel channel. And whatever that may be, if it's going to be, you know, like flying on an airplane and then renting a vehicle in Iceland or Japan or something, then that's what it is. If it's going to be taking, you know, like a week-long train at some point through some area, then that's what it's going to be. And I hope you guys enjoy that sort of style of video. If you have any recommendations for what you'd like to see in my videos, or you know, like what style differences you'd like to see, then please let me know. Currently I've been filming a lot on my iPhone just because it's convenient, but mostly I would like to be doing it on my A7R just for that quality boost, and on tripods. And then I've also been looking at some other camera options. If there's some of you more camera nerds like my brother Peter that have any suggestions for smaller cameras, even I've been looking at like pocket Osmos. Some of those have been looking really nice. Just because since my travel style is kind of lightweight and I want to go into these remoter places or travel through some historic towns and stuff, I'd prefer smaller things like the Osmo, just so I can have it in my hand and like I said, give you guys a raw feel to the video as if you're there with me. Then if you have any recommendations like that, please let me know. I have been looking into different mic options so that my audio is a little bit better, because I noticed in the last video when I was standing outside in the Jeep with the wind, it got pretty crackly, and I would prefer to avoid that. So yeah, that's basically what's going on. We've got about a 2-hour drive, got coffee, got everything I need to do that, and then we'll be pulling into the Valley of the Gods. So I'm really excited to show you guys that. It's one of my favorite places here in Arizona. And yeah, stay tuned, and I'll see you guys there.